Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Let's listen up a little, shall we? I'm Amania Meda, your host for today. Unfortunately, my co-host is not here, and he better have a good reason. So the full responsibility of making sure that you...
Honestly, I thought the event would get even more delayed. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Virudabhi Surya, and I am so sorry for the whole of everyone. We had a few technical difficulties and we had all sorts of problems. And at one point, the entire world was against us almost. But it's going to take more than the entire world to stop us in practice, isn't it?
Always. And I think what Virud is trying to say here that amidst all the difficulties that we have, I think we've all given us a whole new perspective on life when we lose out on the little details. For example, when was the last time any of y'all ever thought about fuel? Before the whole fuel crisis, that is.
I just did my thing. Take care of that.
Exactly. We never think of all those small details. Like for an example, would you all ever think that, okay, look, before the entire power crisis in Sri Lanka, oh, this laptop needs power to run. But when we started losing power, that's when we realized that, oh, I need power to get my things done, right?
Exactly. But now I think this is an opportunity for all of us to realize. Excuse me.
I apologize for the minor technical difficulties.
I hope it's better. As we were saying, I now feel that this is actually an opportunity for all of us to not just realize what we take granted all around us, but for not just fuel and electricity, but for example,
a great moment like this with your friends, of course. And we can always find a way to work around our problems, right? Power cuts, even fuel at sometimes. We can just ride a bike. But unfortunately, there are some issues that we cannot solve. For example, when was the last time we had a conversation with our parents? During the power cuts, I'm really happy to say that I sat outside with my father in the garden and had a nice conversation with him. When was the last time any one of you did that? Now honestly, if the answer doesn't look good, don't feel bad. I feel guilty myself, knowing that if the electricity actually never left, I would still be watching a movie inside my house as well. And that's why I see all these opportunities as a life-fixing moment, actually.
Instead of complaining that the fan doesn't work and that you're sweating, even though I do that myself. Like for an example, I don't have no electricity. You can always read that good book that you only made up to chapter 5 and is now just lying on your shelf. Or you can even scare your siblings. The point is, you can always find fun, you can always find happiness, even in our hardest and our darkest times.
My friends, persistence, or should I say, advancing forward, even during a hard time, or even when facing an obstacle, is the key to achieving success. And I believe that every single person here in this room has the power to persist in life. I mean, like I said it earlier, we're all interactors here, aren't we?
That's right, Virul. And now we would like to recognize the true spirit of the Interact movement as a whole. For that, I now invite Interactor Harini Arsaratnam, Interactor Malit Saparamadu and Interactor Arish Mizan to recite the Interact Pledge, Invocation and 4-way test respectively.
I salute the national flag of Sri Lanka, which signifies the independence of my country and stands for all its people, united as one nation. I pledge allegiance to Sri Lanka and undertake to work towards its peace and prosperity in a spirit of tolerance and love.
Instill in us, O Lord, the true meaning of friendship. Never let us forget that we are thy children, that the differences of cultures and creeds do not matter. Endow us with a desire to serve our fellow men, remembering that we too often need help. At all times when the need arises, caring to make our badge of interact worthwhile. Tell us we have not lived in vain.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
To order.
Everyone, and good morning to everyone present here today. So, as of 11:31 a.m., I call the 31st District Interact Conference to order.
Thank you, Interactor. Next up, what better way to welcome you all to the 31st District Interact Conference other than a tailor-made video that I'm sure Virul would enjoy.
Even though I've never watched this video before in my life, I can certainly tell you that this video is going to be a certified classic indeed. Enjoy, everyone.
5 simple words that seek to find the answers for questions that are known to be impossible. Who? Steam engine, which revolutionized transportation, laying the foundation for us humans to strive for the unanswerable. As we strive to resolve the ambiguity of the unanswered infinity, it is something we humans believe to be above us. Taking our search to the skies wasn't a surprise. At a wind speed of 27 miles per hour on December 1903, two fine gentlemen took mankind up and above to the skies for a 16 search to limitless possibilities. On the 21st of July 1969, 3 brave men striving to pursue limitless greatness take us to the brink of embracing infinity.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
It's 2022. Let's persist impediment and strive to pursue infinity.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 31st Interact District Conference 2022.
Now I'm certain that Virul indeed kept his promise when he promised us that this video is going to be a certified classic. And now, for the welcome dance performance of today's event, I would like to call upon the dance crew of Malyadeva Balika Vidyalaya to the stage.
बिल्कुल ना तुझको तक साल रंग
Thank you for that wonderful performance. Next up, I would now like to call upon the chairperson of this event, Instructor Abid Abzal, to officially welcome today's audience to this grand ceremony. The stage is yours.
John Bon Jovi once said, "Nothing is as important as passion. No matter what you want to do with your life, be passionate." The world doesn't need any more gray. On the other hand, we can't get enough color. Mediocrity is nobody's goal and perfection shouldn't be either. We'll never be perfect, but remember these 3 P's. Passion plus persistence equals possibility. Youth Service Committee Chairperson Multiple Paul Harris Ferro, Rotarian Past President Dr. Rohan Korala, District Interact Committee Chairperson Paul Harris Ferro, Rotarian Past President Champa Pereira, distinguished guests, keynote speakers, parents, staff advisors, council members, presidents and secretaries. A very good morning to all of you as I warmly welcome you all to the 31st Interact District Conference 2022. This year has been quite a roller coaster ride for many of us, and I'm not so grateful. Roller coaster ride for many of us, and I'm so grateful to all of you for being here today, as I can sense the excitement and anticipation from you lingering in the air. The financial predicament hit us all pretty hard this time, and organizing today's event was quite an intractable journey for us. But just as the year's theme states, we were all pumped up about persisting impediment pursuing infinity. The theme primarily focuses on getting over all hurdles we face as interactors while you reach the pinnacle of success and grab every opportunity provided. While most of you may think that the sole purpose of this event is to disclose the demonetization of the district interact representative, but it's a lot more than that. It's an event that promotes fellowship as interactors. It may be one person who leads, but he is nothing without his followers. And while we come to that, the same applied to me. I will once again mention that the organizing committee of this event was a lot harder than before. With the implacable inflation, the budget this year had exceeded by a massive amount, and with everyone being affected, finding sponsors proved to be quite a task. But to all of those who still decided to help in the slightest ways possible, I express my wholehearted gratitude to all of you. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the organizing clubs, Vichali International School, Royal College, Sujata Vidyala Laisham International School, Gampaha, and Dharmaraja College for putting this event together. Furthermore,
Taking this opportunity, I would sincerely like to thank the District Interact Council for putting in an inspiring job in terms of editing and other administration-related matter. Murtaz, Shinali, Prashit, Lehan, Rhea, thank you so much for always pushing me, encouraging me, and supporting me when I was at my worst. Rezon, Ashain, Tarin, and Isira, thank you for all the sleepless nights and days. I not for you, we would not have come nowhere close to bring this far. As the chairperson, I may be the face you see and the world that you hear, but I too will not be standing here if not for the support of my team. A huge thank you to my executive committee, Ronali, Shalik, Parindya, and Kavisha, for running short on sleep and overthinking to make this event a successful one. Ronali, I hope one day you get to experience a world that doesn't involve caves. And Shalik, you're not the only one who's failing accounting. Pasekulpia Kandyan. Parindya and Kavisha, taking use of this opportunity, I would like to remind you that the results are going to be released very soon. So good luck with that. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to all the stakeholders who were a part of this endeavor. But while I've thanked everyone, there is one woman I would never be able to stop thanking. The woman is seated right there before me. The crowd, her chest out front with pride. Mama, thank you so much for always supporting me and waiting for me when I was working up late night, for not just being my strongest pillar of support, but my mother and my father both. I would not be standing here and addressing this crowd before me if it wasn't for you. So ladies and gentlemen, fasten yourselves as we present you the most magnificent event and awaited event of the year. Once again, I welcome you all to the 31st Interact District Conference. I hope that you didn't just enjoy but remember this event for a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you for that speech. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take a moment to address the presence of our dignitaries for today's event.
Youth Service Committee Chairperson, multiple Paul Harris Fellow, Rotarian Past President Dr. Rohanta Atukorala, Keynote Speaker Ms. Nilshani De Silva,
and our sponsor for today's evening as well, Asia Pacific Institution of Information and Technology. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude towards all our extreme dignitaries for taking time off their busy schedules to be with us here today in this event. It means a lot to us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I cordially invite the Youth Service Committee Chairperson, who is also Past Rotarian of the Year, as well as Rotary International People of Active Global Awards winner of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome multiple Paul Harris Fellow, Rotarian Past President, Dr. Rohanta Atukorala, to address today's gathering.
Sri Lanka is grappling with a surge in COVID-19 infections. The island nation announced a 10-day national lockdown to curb the spread. Daily infections have more than doubled in a month to an average of over 3,000 cases.
And over the last 4 days, the number had been above 1,000.
It's easy if you try. No hell below. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Yeah. Imagine there's no country.
The island country will be lifting the nationwide lockdown on the 1st of October. The Health Ministry announced that the lifting of the lockdown will be subject to certain limitations and conditions.
And no religion too. Imagine
team leader of the Skills for Inclusive Growth program funded by the Australian Government. I'm very proud and delighted to be here with you this evening, remotely, supporting your work and acknowledging our wonderful cooperation between our program and Rotary. Through our cooperation, we've identified that the economy needs your help. The tourism sector urgently needs assistance to recover and contribute to local economic development and inclusive growth across the whole island of Sri Lanka. Through our cooperation, we'll work with you to support small businesses to be able to access high quality skills to address the constraints to their growth and their contribution to local employment and upliftment across Sri Lanka. Our program is proud, absolutely delighted to support you and to work closely with you in the coming years to deliver excellent results across Sri Lanka.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Dear Murtaz, your conference chair Abid, the conference organizing committee, the district officials of Interact, my good friend Shiranas from APIT, who is your silver sponsor, interactors, teachers, friends in Interact, thank you very much for this invite. Whilst you all are so excited about today, I must congratulate Murtaz, your DIR, and Abid for organizing this event. And I think it's so fantastic to meet face to face and talk to people and enjoy Interact. Am I right? Yeah? Can we give a round of applause to the organizing committee, please? Can I have the presentation? Yeah. I think I must thank every one of you and the teachers for the fantastic work you all did in the last project that we did called Stop the Spread. If not for you all, Sri Lanka couldn't have won a global award. And the other day, I met the trustee of Rotary International, Dr. Bhattacharya, and he was in the judging committee for global awards, and he said that Stop the Spread had come first in the world, and that whole credit needs to come to the interactors, because y'all are the people who got all the sportsmen, y'all are the people who did the project at the school end, y'all are the people who executed at the school end in terms of getting the MOH protocol to be followed, and we had 0 casualties, and I think we had only just 1 or 2 people who got COVID as at June 2021 when the project was over. And I think let's give a round of applause to all ourselves for the great job that you guys have won. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happening in this country and you as youth, what your role is. Yeah. So we have an issue. I mean, let's not hide behind the fact. We have shortage of fuel, we have shortage of food, we have shortage of electricity. Guys, yeah, I need you to follow with me. Yeah? Okay. So we have all the queues in the world, and things are looking very rough. Okay? But I think it's the best thing that can happen to Sri Lanka. I repeat, it is the best thing that can happen to Sri Lanka. Now, why do I say that? because I have been chairman of Sri Lanka Tourism. I've been in that area for the last maybe 10 years. I've been chairman of Sri Lanka Export Development Board, which runs a budget of $16 billion for the year. I have turned around as the chairman of Lanka Satosa, a 32 billion Sri Lankan rupee company, again government owned, and that was after working for almost 15 years in top multinationals like Reckitt and Diversey Lever out of Bombay. And one of the biggest problems I had in serving the government was the corruption that existed. When I was the chairman of the Export Development Board, one day the minister called me from Singapore and asked me, can you send 1 million rupees to Singapore? And I said, for what is that? He said, it's for my living allowances. And I didn't blink an eyelid. I just went back to school days where I studied, and I remember being the head prefect and winning the gold medal, and I thought to myself, I am not going to do this. I just took a piece of paper, did my resignation. I didn't even take the vehicle that I was allowed to go. I took a trishaw and went back home. That was when I was chairman of the Export Development Board. When I was chairman of Lanka Satosa, we turned around the organization to 32 billion, profit of 60 million. And then I was asked to sign a 700 million. I know that this is live streamed on Sirasa. Perfectly okay. I was asked to sign a 700 million computer package. He should resign immediately. In Malaysia, when this happened, the person was taken, arrested and put to prison. So, what am I saying, guys? What I'm saying is that what you see right now, what's happening in the world, in Sri Lanka, the queues is the best thing that can happen. So we will go back to our fundamentals. We will rearrange our debt with IMF coming in. We will relook at how much money we require for the next 6 months to pay for our essentials. And then we will ask ourselves how much of money we need to keep getting by doing the right thing at Sri Lanka Tourism and at the Export Development Board and all the other state institutions which are now making a loss. No minister can call a chairman and say, write a check. They can't do that anymore because IMF is watching. You can't sell things the way you want, like what it was done 2 weeks back. Went to India and just sold off property without getting even approval from the cabinet. I mean, you don't do that. Are you with me what I'm saying? Hello? So, what Sri Lanka requires is a relaunch. And that relaunch, you guys are so privileged to be going to be part of. I mean, you all have another about 2 years more to finish your school and get into university, and you'll take another 2 years to pass out, right? So it's like a 4-year window. By the time you guys go out of 4 years, okay, Sri Lanka is going to be ready for you, and it's going to be a new Sri Lanka. Now, why do I say that? If you look at the T-board, we were doing about a 0.6 billion, and now we are doing about 1.3 billion, okay? And that 1.3 billion, we were state-run in 2001, 1995, 1996, went to privatization, and from privatization, we moved into social accountability, and today, we are the world's first ethical tea producer in the world. First, as endorsed by the Kyoto Protocol. Politicians can come and steal anything, but they can't steal the beauty of this country. So for 1 kilogram of tea, we get almost $5, while, hello, my friend. Okay, so we get about $5 per kilogram of tea, while if you take the other countries, they get only $2 because the quality of our tea is fantastic. I have been on the tea board for 10 years. I've been part of this whole game of being the first ethical tea producer proposition. We worked very hard on the process to get everything in line, and I'm telling you, it's a beautiful asset that Sri Lanka has. Within the next 3 years, will be a $3 billion industry. Because people will start doing the right thing. If I look at the apparel industry, we were doing about 0.2. Next please. Hello. Right? We were called tailors in 1970s, moved up to sourcing management experts, and then we moved to sustainability, and today we are the first ethical sourcing destination globally. First. So if you want ethical sourcing, the best country in the world is Sri Lanka. And that is why all the top retailers of the world, whether it's the Wolf Chase range of outlets in the US, whether it be the Marks and Spencer, whether it be the Speedo swimwear, every top brand in the world is manufactured in Sri Lanka. Again, a politician can't rob this. If I move into our exports, in the next 3 years, our exports will become 28 billion. They will start doing the right thing, guys. We have Ceylon cinnamon. We supply 90% of cinnamon demand in the world, 90%. Ceylon cinnamon. We have Ceylon sapphires, Ceylon tea, and now I talked about apparel. And in the evening, my colleague will talk about how the IT BPO industry is going to be $5 billion. Okay? And that's a huge project which is going to be done as a national project so that you guys can join to become IT graduates globally. Because HCL, one of our number one companies, have just taken 20 floors at Cinnamon Life properties, 20 floors, because they want to have 5,000 graduates coming in, because that in India, everybody got COVID and they had a lot of problems, so they have moved 25% of their business to Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka is going to really boom in the next 3 years. I know things are rough right now. Boom. This is where the other plantation companies and the exports that are going to be. If I take tourism, I remember in 2015 when I went and made a presentation to the cabinet, I told them the problem in Sri Lanka tourism is people don't know us. And this is the awareness level that people had before doing the campaign. Like 2%, 1% in Germany, different key markets, only these are the people who knew about our country. And then, when you go and talk about the 8 wonderful experiences and 8 wonderful days, the best beaches of the world is in Sri Lanka, as per National Geographic. Politicians can't rob this. Next, the 8th wonder of the world. I'm right now doing a project for the UN where, myself and my colleague Shiranas, and if you go to Sigiriya and if you can cut it in half, do you know that it's perfectly symmetrical? There was no computer-aided manufacturing, computer-aided designing 3,000 years back. But that is the marvel of Sri Lanka talent. So that's why it becomes the 8th wonder of the world. Yeah? The first ethical tea plantation in the world is in Sri Lanka. Highest density of leopard in any wildlife park happens to be in Sri Lanka. It's not in Masai Mara, it's not in Nakuru, it is not in Samburu, it's not in the Kruger parks, it's in Sri Lanka, in Yala. The highest density of elephants in any wildlife park happens to be in Min area. You have elephants on the road also, yeah? The best Ayurveda is not in Kerala, it's in Sri Lanka. The oldest pageant of the world happens to be in Kandy. 6 o'clock in the morning you can go and see a whale in Mirissa, and in the evening, afternoon, you can go and see the elephant in Udavalave. The biggest 2 mammals of the world can be seen in one day, which no other country can do that. So, guys, this is the beauty of the country that a politician can't rob. But when you go and ask a tourist, why did they go abroad? Why did they come to Sri Lanka just before they leave BIA airport? Go and ask them. 98% of the people say, I love the people of Sri Lanka. I love how they smile. Even on the road, I don't know anybody, but they just smile. And that's the beauty of this country. So the point I'm saying is that when you go and tell them this story, you can see the propensity of somebody wanting to come doubles and trebles in every single market. Now this will happen in the next 2 years because we require this money. So you'll have 4 billion coming, or maybe 6 billion coming from tourism. Your exports are going to about 28 billion, and guys, Sri Lanka is ready to take off. Yeah? So the best thing that can happen to this country is what's happening today. But next 6 months is going to be very, very hard. I must warn you guys, because World Bank, IMF has said that all taxes have to go up, withholding tax, everything has to go up, and as soon as that happens, you have a situation. So my last slide is, one before the last, is that we'll be the most ethically defined country in South Asia, and the best for trade and commerce because of where we are situated.